Hello fellow cinephiles, and welcome back to Decipher, where we investigate the various elements of a film to try and decode and interpret the messages within them. My name is Laura, and today I am so excited because we get to decipher one of my all-time favorite films, and that is Alfred Hitchcock's Vertigo. We could easily spend this entire video on the intro alone, but today we are going to focus on the task at hand, and what a wonderful task it is, because today we will be connecting Alfred Hitchcock's Vertigo with Romanic and Greek myths. So it wouldn't be a Decipher video unless we paired this movie with a beverage. And today I chose a Cabernet Sauvignon. It is delicious. I've already gotten into it, as you can see. It's called Ghost Pines. You can't see that, I apologize. In the comments, let me know if you can connect this to the film. When I was looking for a wine glass to put this beautiful wine into, I couldn't find anything, but you know what I found instead? Something way better, and that is this Film Inquiry mug. Yeah, we have mugs. We have mugs, we have t-shirts, we have tote bags, we have all these amazing things. And I just love it. This is our old logo and it has a mustache, so there you go. That is a far superior drink to the Black Phillip one. Pygmalion. The Roman myth of Pygmalion and Galatea is a clear influence on Vertigo. Pygmalion hated the faults and imperfections he believed nature gave to women, so he decided to sculpt an image of a perfect woman to show the other men around him just how much they had to endure. Pygmalion went too far with his statue and discovered that he had fallen in love with his own creation. Scotty is Pygmalion and Madeline is Galatea because Madeline, or at least the Madeline that Judy portrays, is not real. She is merely the image of everything that Scotty desires, and he becomes obsessed with her because of it. Later in Vertigo, after he believes Madeline has died, he essentially sculpts Madeline on top of the real woman beneath it, Judy. Pygmalion was later adapted into the musical My Fair Lady, and I have come to believe that American Beauty, another favorite film of mine, is a Pygmalion story. Kevin Spacey's character, Lester Burnham, clings to the idea of Angela, not to Angela herself. He falls in love or lust with the idea of her, only to realize that she is imperfect and human. The name Angela is certainly not an accident either. So perhaps Lester Burnham, Scotty Ferguson, and Professor Higgins have a little more in common than you thought. Tristan and His Old. The Arthurian romance of Tristan and Isolde contains striking parallels to Vertigo. When Isolde marries King Mark, the heartbroken Tristan weds another woman named Isolde to keep alive the memory of his former love. The end is tragic, climaxing with Tristan's death and the first Isolde's suicide. Bernard Herrmann's incredible piece of music from Vertigo recalls the Liebestod from Wagner's Tristan and Isolde. Certain movements in his Scène d'amour from Vertigo includes phrases similar to Liebestod. Scotty can also be seen as Tristan. His Galatea sculpture of Madeline is also his new Isolde as he tries desperately to cling to his former love. The legend of Tristan and Isolde ends with the death of Tristan and the suicide of his beloved, just as Vertigo ends with Judy or Madeline's accidental death and Scotty's living death in the wake of tragedy. Orpheus and Eurydice. Perhaps the most mythological influence on the film Vertigo is the Greek myth of Orpheus and Eurydice. This is a story about a musician named Orpheus who loses his wife to the incarnation of death itself and ventures into the underworld to rescue her, only to eventually lose her again. He fails to follow the instruction not to look back at his beloved as he leads her out of Hades and loses Eurydice once more. This story is further exemplified in the amazing Brazilian film Black Orpheus from 1959, just a year after Vertigo's release. This is a film that I grew up watching, and it always terrified me, and it really struck me as something profound and profoundly sad. So, yeah. Scotty's Orpheus character attempts to save Madeline, the Eurydice character, from drowning in the San Francisco Bay. He succeeds, only to lose her in a suicide off the bell tower. He then gets a second chance to save Madeline from death, this time by recreating Judy in Madeline's image. He achieves this resurrection, but then loses her again when she plunges from the bell tower. And just as in the Orpheus myth, Eurydice's death is Orpheus's fault. And so in Vertigo, it is Scotty's flaws that leads to his losses. His acrophobia causes him to lose Madeline, and it is his insistence on recreating a dead woman that leads him to lose Judy. I have made a few other connections with Vertigo and other tales, but I want to hear what you think. So I'm going to throw this your way. You tell me if you think that there's anything here. Madeline's staged suicide in front of Scotty is reminiscent of the character Ophelia from Hamlet, who obsesses over death and goes mad. And I believe that there's a line in Hamlet that is especially reminiscent of the way she falls in the water, but I don't recall that at the moment, so please feel free to quote that down below. I would actually really appreciate that. There's this one reference that just keeps nagging at me, the connection to The Wizard of Oz. In both films, there is a Judy, so Judy Garland in The Wizard of Oz, and the woman beneath Madeline is really Judy. Her character is from Kansas, so Kansas. There are two colors in Vertigo that are extremely prominent and very significant and represent a whole lot of things. They have red and green, or ruby red, slipper red, and emerald green. In both stories, there is a man behind the curtain. Of course, the wizard in The Wizard of Oz, and Gavin Elster in Vertigo, who we see in this most magnificent shot in the film, where there's a window behind him and it shows all this construction going on. And it's so representative of all the things behind the scenes that he's constructing. So we have a wizard here. Also, The Wizard of Oz plays a special role in the next film that we will be deciphering. So please guess down below. Let me know what you think that is. There are so many wonderful things to decipher in Vertigo. We could explore the significance of the pin of a bird that Madeline wears on her gray suit, or how the shape of the gravestone that we see in the graveyard reflects the shape of the nun that we see twice, both times foreshadowing death. Or explore the significance of the polarity in color, shapes, movement in Vertigo, how the camera pans in one direction for the first half of the film, Scotty changes, and the camera pans the opposite direction. But really, in conclusion, I just hope that you watch this film again, whether it's for the first time or the 100th time. I think you'll get something new out of it upon each viewing. At least that's been my experience. So, thank you so much for joining me this time around. I'm sorry it's taken so long. You can check out our website at filminquiry.com, where we post amazing reviews and film analysis every single day. We have a lot of really cool things in the works, so stay tuned. So much better.